final player that we have with us tonight, hit .355 here in 2005. He was the New York Penn League batting title winner that year. Gaby Sanchez.
Last time we interviewed, you were with the Marlins. You'd come up for a hot stove luncheon. We were really thrilled, as always, to have you, and you're such a talented guy. Much has happened since we had a chance to talk to you, including a particular event I was just rereading about where you and a guy named Morgan got together in a game, which was a baseball game. Chris Volstad
yes.
lost a pitch, and
Chris Volstad was here also in that event.
That's right, exactly. For the camera, I mean, tell a little bit about that, how that got set up.
I mean, it's just baseball.
Yeah.
Things that happen in baseball, and certain aspects of the game that are always going to be there. And it was just an event where Volstad was pitching, and he hit Morgan, and he went charging the mound, and I try to cut him off before he can get to Volstad.
The game had actually gotten out of control before then, didn't it? I mean, wasn't it a...
The game got out of control a little bit the game before.
Oh, the game before.
And then that game, Morgan got hit his first AB, and he went to first base, and I think the score was 8 or 9 or 10-0, something in that range. And he ends up stealing second, stealing third, which is kind of like a no-no when the score is at that kind of a range. Just because we're not really holding him on, we're not really, looking in just because you really don't steal. And so when he came up again, we tried to hit him again, and he wasn't taking to it. And just like a lot of players would have done, he went to charge him out, and we kind of knew that the situation might arrive where he might charge them out. So luckily I was able to get there to him before any damage can really be done. And, it kind of just stopped real quick. It wasn't too crazy.
Of course, you were just like a football player. I mean, to say you clotheslined it was an understatement.
I mean, it was just one of those situations where you don't want, you're trying to help the pitcher out. You don't want your pitcher to get hurt. He's a guy who's on the mound every fifth day going out there and throwing, and, you're all a family when you're out there and you're on a team. So it's basically like somebody was going after your family member, and you don't want your family member to get hurt. So you're going to do everything in your power so that he won't get hurt.
Well, you were given a lot of kudos for that. Gaby, I mean, you left the Marlins last year to come to the Pirates. Welcome. This is pirate country, by the way.
It is. Now it's pirate country, isn't it?
Yeah, especially. Many of your teammates during that time period are no longer part of the Marlins.
Right, that's true.
Have you talked much to them about sort of the purge that's going on?
About what's going on
in the Marlins
organization. Well, I mean, a lot of the guys who I played with, who I basically came up with, who I've spent the last 3 or 4 years with, aren't there anymore. So a lot of the guys aren't there. There's only one guy with Stanton who is there, and everybody else is basically gone. So I mean, you talk amongst one another, and hey, how's everything going, and how's everything with the new team? Have they talked to you? And those kind of situations. But a lot of them, we all left, this year, or traded away this year. Sorry, not left. So I mean, you talk with them, but it's nothing really too crazy. It's a part of the game. It's a part of what happens in baseball. You go on to different teams. There's not too many guys who can say that they stayed on one team for their whole entire career. Of course, you would like that to happen, but sometimes it's a better situation to go somewhere else.
You happy where you are now?
I mean, the Pirates are a great organization. Ever since I got here last year, it's been awesome. The way that they treat the players, the way that they go about the business of baseball has been great. The Pirates are doing great things, getting great players, signing great players, and are trying to build that championship, team back.
Do you spend much time with Clint Hurdle over the off season? Do you guys spend much time together?
Not really. I mean, Clint Hurdle's a type of manager that he wants you to go out and do whatever you need to do to help prepare yourself for the season to come. So every he doesn't really get into the business of calling. You'll get, the emails and things like that, but nothing really of seeing, that's why these events are great also, because they get to see the players, they get to see the progress that they've made during the offseason to this point, knowing that there's still a month and a half, 2 months to go until spring training starts. So at least they get to see the progress that you have made up to this point, and or not the progress, and see, hey, we got to get going. We got to, we have a certain goal in mind. So these events are great because they get to see that. They get to see what what you're doing.
So they actually, other than eyeballing you, do you actually go through any tests or anything like that?
No, right now we don't. I think in January there's like a little small mini camp that we'll go to, and we'll do some testing. We'll do those kind of things at that point in time, but nothing really too crazy.
I know your parents came over from Cuba. All the things going on over there. Do you have family over there still?
I mean, I might have some distant relatives, but most of my family is already in Miami, and I've been in Miami for many, many, many years.
Yeah. How tough was it to be part of the early part of last year when Ozzie got into all kinds of turmoil? Was it tough for you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just because of the situation that was there. The whole entire situation that happened. There's things that you can say and things that you can't say in Miami, and when you're speaking of anything of a guy like Fidel Castro, that's a bad word in Miami. So it was definitely tough just because of the whole entire situation, and you have to be correct, and you have to understand where how Ozzie is as a person, what he was actually trying to say. He wasn't really trying to make it as something that was a positive way. He was trying to make it into a negative way, but the way that it just came out just didn't sound right at all. But knowing him, knowing the type of person he doesn't really feel that way. So it was tough to try to get people to see that, just because everybody was so mad about what he had said, and it's tough because they have a right to be.
Well, given your ancestry, were you asked to participate at all or to say anything on his behalf?
I mean, it was tough because I was the only, Cuban on the team. So whenever the media came, I was the one that they came to. There was nobody else. It was just me. So I had to answer so many different questions. I had to have so many different little press conferences by my locker with, 15, 20 cameras, pointing right at me. That part of it was not fun. It was a period of 3 or 4 days that it was not a fun time. Before the game. During the game, you're playing the game, you're concentrating on the game, but before the game, you're having all these questions and all these things that you have to answer, and you have to not justify but try to let people understand that he didn't mean it that way. He doesn't really feel that way. It just came off wrong. He not out of context because it's what he said, but he wasn't meaning it that way.
Right. Well, welcome back to Jamestown.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, and if George is here, we'll have to rub his head because he clearly shaved it after you made that MVP designation and never grew it back.
Never grew it back. I mean, it was a good look for him, too.
It was a good look.
It was a good look. I think that's why he kept it off. But it was just one of those funny times where, he had said it before, if you guys get the MVP, I'll shave it off. And lo and behold, get the MVP, now he has to shave it off. And, I mean, he had to understand, too, that we had, I think, 3 or 4 guys who went to the All-Star game. So the odds of one of us winning it were pretty high. So it was just funny at that situation of him having to shave it. He did it on the field, which was even better. So all the fans got to enjoy it. So it was a lot of fun.
It's up on YouTube, too.
It's still up on YouTube. That's funny. That's been a long time for it to be on YouTube.
That's right. It wanted to go viral. Well, thank you. By the way, I should point out, because this is now you've been to the Big since last time we talked. Do you have a moment, a highlight, a Gaby Sanchez wow moment?
I mean, I think the biggest moment was definitely, opening day starter. That would never get taken away. Another big one is the All-Star game in the big leagues. That can never be taken away. And that's one of the things where when you're a little kid, and you're talking about, I want to be a Major League Baseball player, and I want to, be an All-Star. Those are the things that you try to strive for, things that you try to push for. Being able to accomplish those things in a short period of time, definitely something that, I'll always remember.
Thank you. We'll remember you. And we'll be ready
and I'll
for you.
always remember Jamestown. It's where I got started.
That's right. Good luck and thank you.
Thank you.